Like I said, the class is open to everyone. Feel free and let's share experience and get to learn together. So for our day one, we are going to dive directly without wasting much time. I know the class is just for 2 hours. So we'll look at what we have for today. And in case you have any challenges, you can always drop in the chat. And by the time the facilitator finishes for day one, we're going to look at the questions that were put up and then we try to resolve them together. So thank you so much. For day one, we are going to have an overview of Excel, ranging from the Excel dashboard, trying to understand and navigate the Excel dashboard. So um, the facilitator for today will be Mr. Ngwana Edwin. For those who don't know Mr. Ngwana Edwin, Mr. Ngwana Edwin this is Mr. Ngwana Edwin, yeah. So Mr. Ngwana Edwin is coming in with rich experience in financial analysis, monitoring, and evaluation. He has over 8 years experience with a lot of data analysis skills. So please, let's stay focused and then follow as he writes for today. Thank you so much. Edwin, if you can get me, can you unmute your mic?
Thank you very much, Clinton. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can get you 505.
Okay. Good evening to everyone, all the professionals. You're all welcome. As Clinton has rightly said, we are going to dive straight to module 1. And I shared a picture of the Excel window in the group, which we are going to peruse right now. So let us have our notebook. Let us take down notes. Let us write questions, because if we have to present, and let's say present for 5 minutes, and then we stop for questions and answers, we will take longer than 2 hours. So if you can write down your question, excuse me, at the end of the course, at the end of today's module, we can have 30 minutes to discuss. It will be great. Okay. So you're all welcome once more to Earth Analytics. And if you have your computer right in there, you can open an Excel file, you can open an Excel workbook, so that whatever we are demonstrating here, you can be seeing it directly on your own screen. And why not try a few things? Although we will not advise you trying to do along as we are teaching, because you may focus on one thing and then you miss out other things. So you can just be looking at your screen and looking at the various toolbars as we walk through. Right. Okay. So I believe that most of us have seen an Excel file before. We know what Excel is. So if you've ever received any document that has rows and columns, like a table, yeah, that resembles, when you open it, it resembles something like this. It's an Excel file. All right. Now, when you open an Excel file, that Excel file is actually called a workbook. Yes, it's called a workbook. And in that workbook, you have various sheets. So we're going to start. As you can see this picture on your screen, as you can see, we have, this picture was taken from an old version of Microsoft Excel. So you may not find, for example, this control menu box in your own if you are using an updated Excel version, which you're going to see. So if you have your picture in your phone, you can look at it as well as on the screen. So this is the Excel window, all right? So when you open an Excel workbook, the very first sheet that you see in front of you is called an Excel window. It's a window, right? So on that window, we have the title bar. The title bar is what you see. Here you will see book 1, Microsoft Excel. When you save this file, for those of us who did computer science in secondary school, when you take save as and you give it a name, that name that you give will appear here on the title bar. All right. Now, you can choose to close the file or the workbook by taking this X right here on the top right. When you click on this X here, you close the file. We'll just really look at this, and then when we open the Excel workbook itself, we'll do it practically as Clinton rightly introduced. All right, so this one is called maximized, minimized. We're going to see all that. This is the home ribbon. We have various ribbons, and when you understand these ribbons, what I always call tab, I prefer the word tab. Once you understand these ribbons here, you've understood Excel. That's a summary of everything. You have the home tab, the insert tab, the page layout, the formulas, data, review, the view, the theme. You can have other add-ons, maybe analysis. If you have Microsoft 365, you can have many other things here. If you understand all these tabs here, then you would have understood Excel. Because once you open any of the tabs, all these other sub functions, they open up for you. All right. So in Excel, what you will normally see are, you'll see letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, right up to, those are the permutation and combination to so many. These are what we call columns in Excel. Those who do SQL, I think it will be fields, but in Excel, these are columns. Then our rows are what you see as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right down to, I think, 10,000. So Excel can take up to 10,000 rows of data, which means Excel has some limitations. That is why big analysts who grow into, they're using large data sets would prefer to use tools like maybe SQL to manage databases. All right. So when Excel works in cells, okay? So any cell that you want to work in, you have to make that cell active by clicking inside the cell. And when you click in that cell, the name here, the name will appear up here. For example, if you look at it very well, you'll see that this particular cell is highlighted in black, and then the name is written here as A1. So how do we name cells in Excel? The name of the cell is derived from the column and the row. So if this is column A, row 1, then it's A1. Okay? All right. So I think we should just go straight to Excel and then we see it clearly, because when we are talking and showing it, it gets even better. So I will open an Excel file, just an empty Excel workbook, and then we are going to see that. Okay. All right, just give me a minute. All right. So this is an Excel workbook that I've opened, and I've already named it as Excel for Workplace Upliftment. So what I was saying is, if I want to change this title, this is the title bar. If I want to change this, I'll simply come to File, then I'll take Save As, and then I will save it. I'll browse and choose where I want to save it. If I want to save it in a particular folder, I can go to that folder. Or if I want to save it on my desktop, I can just go to Desktop, which should be right up here. And I can change this name. Maybe I want to change upliftment to productivity. I change it to productivity and I save it. If I do that, you'll see that the name here has changed. Okay, so that is it. For those of us who are using Microsoft 365, you will have, if you sign into your account, you will have your name appear here. As you can see mine, you have your name appear here. So we have the ribbon display. If you want to auto hide any ribbon or toolbars, you can do that here, but it's not advisable. So this is minimize. For example, if I want to maybe you are working on two Excel files and you want to put them side by side, you can actually minimize the screen, right? I know you won't see it because I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, it looks the same thing. But when you minimize it, okay, you can actually open two Excel files and put them side by side, or you can do some other thing on your desktop. So you can't see that because I am sharing just that particular window. All right, so you can minimize, you can maximize your Excel window. All right, so there we go. You come here to the file tab. The file tab here, you can save your data. Although save is always Control S for the short form of it. Those of you who want to take notes, you can take notes rather than coming to file to take save. When you save this, you are saving the data that you have already entered in this Excel window, okay, this Excel workbook. But if you want to change the name, you can take save as. You want to print, you come to print. You want to share, you can share it via email. You can share it online. You want to export, you can export it. You know, you can export this thing to PDF. You can publish it to Power BI. For those of us who use Power BI, you can publish your Excel data to Power BI. You can close, you know, you can even come to more. And those of us who want to add options, there are a lot of things you can do when it comes to the file tab. There are a lot of settings you can do. You can add a lot of options, maybe Power Pivot, Power Query. If you don't have those particular tabs, you can add them. It's always on the file tab. Okay, so that's for advanced Excel. But for now, you don't need to go adding putting add-ons in your Excel, except you're already used to Excel and you want to do advanced data analysis. All right, so that's a file, very easy. Then we have the home. Indeed, it is the home because the home tab is like the mother tab, right? It's like the home page, let's say, of your website. When you open the home, when you land on the home page, you can understand a lot of things about your website, right? So it's similar to what we have here. So the home tab here, when you open the home tab, when you click on it, you have all these options. All right. Once you understand these options, you are good to go. So we're going to briefly look at them so that when we are doing practicals, the other animators are here and they are touching any of these things, you already know what they are doing. All right. So here you have paste. There are also shortcuts. When I just point my cursor on this paste, you see Control V, right? Which means that if you copy some data, you can actually paste it. All right. So for example, let me just look at the charts and pick any name that I see. Let's assume that these are staff in an organization. Participants. All right, so I've seen Denisha. Let me actually, okay, I've seen Denisha. I see John Paul. I see Luma. Cowards. All right, so let me just use your names, please. Don't mind. Okay. Maybe 5. So I see Pauline. I see Courage. I see iPhone. Is iPhone somebody's name? I see Fedora. Okay, so let us say that we have Pauline. And we have, so let's say these are staff. So what am I doing? Actually, if you want to stick to one thing and one thing at a time, we will not really get it. So as I'm walking you through the tabs, we'll be doing the work already, okay? Because right now what I've done is that I've already entered data into this Excel. I've chosen to enter the data on the column C, and it's always advisable to give the headings, to give heading to your data within the first row. All right, this first row. So let us say these are names of staff in an organization, right? And so maybe I want to maybe want to promote some staff. or let me say award is an award, and maybe wants to award, let's say maybe wants to award Denicia and Fedora. Instead of me typing this name again here, I can simply just copy it and come and paste here, right? That's why I want to show you. When you copy it, data, like when I'm working with data and you want to take data and use somewhere, you don't need to go typing it over again. You can simply copy it and paste, all right? And there are many paste options as well. When you're working with formulas, you will see paste as numbers, paste as formulas, and all that. So if I just right click on the initial and I copy, and I come here, I can come up here, right? And I paste. When I click this paste, automatically the initial is pasted here. This is very basic for those who are having zero experience in Excel. For those who have much experience, you already know this, right? So I can undo this. Undo is Control Z or Control Z for those who are maybe in other countries who call it Z. If I take Control Z, it goes away because that's undo, which is something that you can do right up here. Okay. So I prefer to use those shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. It's easier for me. But for those who are still beginning, from my experience, they prefer to use the buttons or the keys that are here, the options here. So rather than taking Control Z or Control V, somebody could have just come here, you know, to redo or undo. So if I want to redo it, you know, when I point my cursor, you can see, right, except there's me what it does. Say redo paste. So if I click on it, you see the initial comes back. If I undo, it goes away. And these options can be done using Control Y and Control Z. Control Y is what? To redo what you have done. Maybe you have mistakenly copied something or cut off something. You want to redo that thing. You just click Control Y. So if I take Control Y on my keyboard, you see it comes back. Now there are various paste options. If I wanted to paste, let's say, now when I right click and take copy, what do you see? You see some curly lines, running through. That's to tell you that you have copied this data. So if you ever copy your data and you don't see this, it means that you have not actually copied it. Okay. So instead of coming here, okay, I click now. Now I've copied this data. Where do I want to paste it? I want to paste it in this cell. So I must click on this cell. First of all, that's rule number 1 in Excel. Before you enter data in any cell, you must make the cell active. Okay. So if instead of coming here and just clicking on this space, I can click on this small, is it triangle, this small arrow you see here, and I'll see various paste options. You understand? These paste options might not be useful right now because I'm pasting just text, but when you're working with calculations and you want to copy your formula and replicate it over several rows or several columns, you can simply come here and take paste formulas. When I just point my cursor here, you see formulas, or you see paste, normal paste, and then you can see paste values. These are very important options that we're going to see as we go ahead. All right. That is fine. Okay. Okay. So the next thing we see here is cut. You can also cut, okay? Instead of copying this, if you want to maybe remove this data from here, you can just highlight it and then you take cut. This is not sign here. And Excel tells you the shortcut, Control X. So if I just click on this particular data by this tab, the initial, and take Control X, you will not see that it has been, it's off, right? But if I come and take Control V somewhere else, what do you notice? You notice that there's nothing here because I cut it off and I've put it right here. And if I want to do it again, if I want to undo, I just take what? Control Z. When I click on Control Z, everything goes back. That means I'm reversing the step I just took. That's the meaning of undo. All right. So this option you can copy. What I've been doing, I've been right-clicking and taking copy, right? But that's not the only way to copy data in Excel. You can either click what you want to do. For example, if I want to copy this tab data, I highlight it. So rule number 2, before you copy any data to any place in Excel, you must highlight that data. Okay, so I cannot just come here like this and maybe my Excel cell 5 F5 is active. Okay, this my cursor, my mouse is here. This says active, right? And then I want to copy this data. Then I come here and I take copy. You see, what Excel understands is where my mouse was, my cursor was. So if I want to copy this staff data, I must highlight it, okay? And I can come here and I copy it. You can copy as picture. If you want to paste it maybe in a WhatsApp group, you can copy as picture. But now I prefer to use Control C. That is easy for me. So when I highlight, I simply just take Control C. And maybe I come here, I put my cursor and I take Control V. I've copied. So you see the various ways. Now there's another thing that is very important there. So what should we say the awards are? Gold, silver, sapphire. Let's just give some. Let's just say that these staffs are awarded with some those precious metals. So let me just put some data here. Silver. I'm not using any numbers yet, right? Don't bother. I'm going to come to that. We're just understanding our Excel. Pearl. What other gold? Whatever that precious metal is there. I've exhausted my dictionary of precious metals. Should I put iron or cobalt? Which mineral is in the iron Congo? Is it cobalt? Bronze.
Use diamond.
Thank you. All right. So let us use bronze. Okay. All right. So now this data, I've put it in two columns, right? So maybe I want to format it a bit. What I want to show, I want to show you guys what this option, this brush here. I want to show you what this brush here will do. Okay. So let's just say maybe years of experience. Let's put some numbers. Let's put some numbers, guys, so that let's say this person will grow me that 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, maybe 1 year experience, right? Okay. So this is my data. I'm already okay. Now let me just show you something. Some people say that when they type their data, it crosses like this. They don't know what to do. When you type your text and it crosses to the other column, you don't know what to do. You just simply come here and place your mouse in between the two letters where you see this line. Once you place your mouse, it will turn into a double arrow. Can you see that? Then I'll just click and drag. So I open it. There are other things we're going to see. You can wrap your text, a lot of nice things. Okay, so let us just put some borders here. We're already going to borders. So we'll just be doing it and be going since Excel is this beautiful. So yeah, I'll put some borders and maybe I want to put okay, so these are borders, okay? This one you see here, you just to put your borders. Don't bother about these squares you see here. You can actually put your own squares and you can remove all these other squares you see all this way. If you come to view and on grid lines, we uncheck this. What did you see? All the other ones disappear, right? And you're left with your borders. So I can check back grid lines and they will come back, just to beautify your data. So let's go back to home and let us say I want to give a fill color. So a fill color is a color that will take like the background color. Okay. So this is it here. The fill color. They are filling a box or a bucket with color. So if I choose, let's say I choose this one. I don't know the name. You see, we're just going to format it, okay? And then maybe the text color now we can make it white. Those who do graphic designing, you know how to match colors perfectly. Okay, so we have these and maybe we'll give another fill color to this guy here. So I just want to show you what this thing does. All right, so now let us assume that you have another table. This is a table, right? We're seeing this as a table, although according to Excel, this is not a table unless you format it as table. I'm going to explain. If you don't format it as table, you'll not be able to do a pivot table. Okay, just know that we're going to see all these things when we're doing this analysis with Clinton. You will be able to do pivot tables, and he'll show you how to format the data as table in Excel. But for us, this is a table. So let us say that I want to create another table. No time. Let me just copy this one and paste. Now let me show you something. I've copied this table, right? I've taken Control C. Now I don't want these colors to all this formatting I've done. I don't want it to be there. I want to paste it just simply. So if I right click and I take 1, 2, 3 means I'm pasting it as values. Okay. So I take that. You see what happens? The data is pasted as virgin data, no formatting. So let's assume that you have many tables and you want to apply this same formatting, okay, on those same tables. You have maybe 4 or 5 of them. You don't need to come every time, highlight, you go to fill, you choose this color. No, no, no. Once you already have it on one table and they have the same style, like the same shapes and all that, you simply just highlight this table. You click on this format painter, okay? If I click on this format painter and come here and click and touch the whole of this table, automatically all the formatting appears on this other table. That's what I wanted to show you guys about this particular option. It's very useful when you start creating databases. When you're doing databases with Clinton, he will show you exactly, because we're going to do and duplicate, like we are working with the NGOs, right? You need to create indicators for monthly data. You need to be for 1 month and then you duplicate for the other months. You don't need to type it all over. You just copy the thing, you paste, you format painter, or you duplicate. Very easy. Excel makes life really easy if you can use it well. All right. So I hope I am on track with you guys. Okay. Are we following? If you're following, give me a thumbs up. You see this react button? There's a react button on your screen. Just tap it and give me a thumbs up if you're following and it's making sense. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we are going gradually, right? So we're here. This view, of course, we know this one. We use Microsoft Word, right? It's bold, italicized, underline. So if I want to bold my heading, I simply highlight. Remember, Excel, you must highlight, right? I'll come and take bold. Okay, I already bolded it. Maybe I want italicize, underline. You can put double lines. So if you click this small thing here, you can see double lines. So double line, and then we have seen this one, right? We've seen the borders, and you can put not. I chose all borders. You can choose to give borders only to the left, to the right. Just outside borders, thick borders. Let's try thick borders on this other table. Just highlight everything, come to borders, and I take thick borders. Did you notice some black? The thing becomes black, thicker black, like this. Borders here are thicker than these ones, and you can as well increase the size of your borders. Okay, if I come right down to line style, right? I come to line style and go down. Okay, no, not line style. More borders. Okay. No, not there. Okay, draw borderline, line color, line style. Yeah. So this one, you have to use your pen to, put it up, stuff like that. So let me clear this off. All right, so it's thicker, right? It's thicker than it was before. All right, so we are here and, we know this one, right? You want to change my font, like it's Calibri. I want to change it to Times New Roman. I'll just click here and take, where is Times New Roman? I can't see it, but I can type it, right? I just start typing T-I, it just appears, right? I just hit the enter button, but it changes to Times New Roman. So that's fonts there. And you can change this one here is the font, and this one here is the font size, right? So which means we can change this font size. We can increase it to maybe 13 if you like. It makes it bigger. And then you can, if you don't want to type 13, you can simply use this capital, this big A you see here. You see, I tap on it, it increases, or I can reduce it. Simple. Okay. So we have seen this one is the font, the color, the text color. So we can change it to whatever we want, but it should have enough contrast. Enough contrast. White is the best. Should have enough contrast. We can change this the fill color here to black, black and white, more contrast, right? I think it makes more sense now. All right, so you see this at this small arrow here, it tells you that the options under this particular box like this are not exhausted. That all this like this is not all that there is under this particular box. So if I click here, if I click here, you see more options. Did you see superscript anywhere? You didn't see it, right? But you can see it here. You want a superscript, you can do it. When do you use superscript? Maybe you want to write, maybe it's the 10th year, all right? So I click here. Now, one thing you should know, if you want to type in Excel, you need to double click, okay? When you double click, you see your cursor blinking. So I can use my right arrow and type, so I can say it's the 10th position or the 10th year. But according, if it was Microsoft Word, this would automatically superscript, but for Excel, it doesn't do that. So how do we do it? I can double click inside and highlight this TH, and I come here and I do what? I superscript and I take OK. And wow, that works, right? So always remember that superscript in Excel, you have to use this small arrow here. All right. So the other things that we see here, as you can see, when you click Excel tells you it's just alignment. For example, this data, you want to put it, this particular one at the center, at the center. So if I highlight all of it and come here, I'm aligning it to the center, okay? And then left and then right, center. And then this one is, if the cell is big enough, for example, let us increase this. We'll see how to do this for all of them when we come to formatting. I think somewhere here, you can format this. So let's say this sapphire is here and we want to put it a little bit up. I can click this one. Can you see? It goes up, right? This will be useful when you are working with data. You know when to put something up and down, that's when this one works. The column height. Is it column height? This distance from here to here, how do I call it? The row height, not so, because it's column width and row height. Okay, the row height, because from here to here is the column width, then from here to here is the row height. So the row height has to be big for you to see visible alignment for this particular one up here. Then this one is if you want to orientate your text. For example, if I want the initial to tilt as I want, I can just come here and I begin to change the angles. As I want, vertical, rotate. This might be useful for you when you're building a database. You might need to orientate, maybe put dates here and orientate it the way you want. So let's put it back. What was it? Was it horizontal? Rotate and rotate. Okay. So that's just the use of that one. And then this one is just your indentation, your paragraphing. Okay. Great. Okay. So we're just looking at the toolbar. We're still on the home tab. So the home tab is very important. Only the home tab, I already beautify something like this. Don't bother about calculation, summation. We'll see all that. We'll see how tomorrow and Sunday, okay? So we'll see even how small business owners can prepare small Excel tables to input their data, and then automatically it gives them their profit, which product is the highest. We'll see that tomorrow. Yeah, so for now, let's just enjoy this ribbon. Let's enjoy this home tab. All right, so let us say that, okay, let me teach you one thing now. So I want to add a row above this one. Okay, I want to add a row above this one because I want to write a heading for this table. That this stuff, these are headings for the various, these various columns, right? But what does this data talk about? Maybe staff award ceremony or something. So I want to put their heading. So if I come and right click here, I'll just put, when I point my cursor on the one, it turns into an arrow. Okay, so I'll just right click. It's a shortcut. You can come to insert and insert row somewhere, but you just point here and right click and take insert. A new row will appear on top, as you can see. So let's call it staff award, maybe ceremony. Okay, So now, why am I writing this? Because I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys this option, this merge and center. I want to show you guys what it does. So I've written staff award ceremony, and I want it to fit the whole of this table and then be centralized. So I highlight it, not just highlighting what I've written, I highlight everything. Someone's mic is unmuted. Okay, thank you. Okay, people. So I was saying that if I want to, I'll not just highlight what I've written, but I will just highlight the whole length of this table. Okay, then I come to merge and center. What happens? It breaks all those grid lines. It breaks all the borders and it centralizes this. We can even give its own font, its own field, sorry. We can give its own field and we can make it bold, you know, so it gives a heading to this table, okay? So we can also do the same here. You merge and you centralize. Then you can double click inside and you type your text, staff of maybe Earth Analytics. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, so now that is that for this one. So those who have computers, just tomorrow, your assignment for tomorrow, before tomorrow, is that you should explore all this as I'm doing. Just make sure you explore it. And maybe you can send screenshots in the group to motivate others. So we'll open the group so that you can send screenshots when you have able to do something, for those who are doing this for the first time. Yeah. All right. So the next thing we see here is wrap text. Okay, so this wrap text sometimes it works when your data crosses to the next line and you don't want to increase, like you told me, increases experience, not so. So let's imagine that it was like this. You know, it kind of crosses here, but you don't want to increase this column. Is it column width? Yes, you don't want to increase it. So you want it to fit inside this particular cell. So you can click inside and you take wrap text. Wrap text means I want to wrap you inside this particular box. You must fit in this box. So you see what has happened, right? Excel has fitted that text in the box, but it has increased the confusion, column width, no, row height. Yeah. It has increased the row height. So we can undo this, right? By taking Control Z. Okay. And then we can increase. I like to put it like this. But you do wrap text when you're building databases. So at times I need to wrap some text. So all these things are useful. Okay. So here, very important. You see this guy here, general. This one is very important. It's telling you that all these things we have been writing here, Excel just considers them as general data. It doesn't know whether it is text, it is date, it is currency, or it doesn't know. So this one is very important for those who will be doing data analysis next week. I think it's next week, students or those who want to do analysis in Excel, you must format your data using data types. So this is the number format, but I call it a data type format because this one will help you to format your data. Okay. So when you type in all this data, let's remove this temp here. No, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's use this table. So when you type in your data, you must tell Excel what data type it is. Okay. So if I highlight this is text, right? So you should know that this is text, of course. If I highlight it, I can come here and do we have text? Yes, you see, I come and choose text. Now, when you click on it, Excel says text. So Excel has understood that this is text. For this one, it's numbers, right? So I highlight, I come here, and I okay, so I had some network issues. I hope that was not a big deal. Africa is the way it is. Sometimes it gets tough. Okay. So I don't know where I was exactly, what the last thing you got. So please, you can tell me the last thing I said before my network disturbs so that we can continue from there. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, you can on general.
Come again.
It's on general.
All right. I was on general. Okay. So I was on the data type. Now that was I was on the data type and I was saying that this is general. And so it means that Excel does not know what Excel considers this with general data that I have inputted. All right, so let me just undo what I did so that we can, all right. So now if I want to format this data as text, this is text, of course. So I'm going to, highlight the data and I come to the data type and I choose text. So I come right down here and I choose text. So Excel therefore understand that this data here is text. Then for this one, these are numbers. I need to highlight and then I come here and I choose number. And I was saying that when you choose number, Excel automatically attributes decimal points. So to remove these decimal points, shortcuts, you see this arrow, the one pointing to the left, increase decimal point, pointing to the right, decrease decimal point. So if I click once, it removes one decimal point. I click twice, it does that. But this happens only for this data here. But if I want to completely remove decimal points, I will come and click here. I'll come to more number formats and I am going to reduce the decimal points here. You can see that it's 0. I'll ensure that it is 0. Then I'll click OK. Okay, so let us say that this staff, apart from giving them these medals, they also have some cash award, right? All right, so they have some cash award, maybe from an NGO or so. Now, this cash award, one format it as currency. When you be doing accounting or financial analysis with Theophilos, you're going to understand exactly what we're saying here. So, cash. So let us say the initial has $10,000. Then Luma has $5,000. Is it 5,000? Then Kawas has $3,000. Then Pauline has, let's say, $2,000. And then let's say Fedora has $1,000. Now, you see, I've added some data. I don't really have to, go and put this color and all this stuff here. So if I wanted to have this same formatting, I simply highlight this column. I come to, formatting, I remember. Then I come and highlight the cash column. And automatically it picks what? It picks the formatting on the experience column. So now this data is still general, as you can see, or number, as you can see, but it is actually currency. So when I format it as currency, maybe dollars. So I'll highlight the data. I'll come, if I choose dollars here, all right, these are shortcuts. You have dollars, percentage, no thousand separator. If I choose it here, no problem. But then I'll prefer to always come here. And then I'll come to currency. I take currency. You see, I know you have seen data somewhere from maybe account statements. It has this stuff, right? So this is it. This is how you do it. You don't type it yourself. Because if you type it yourself, Excel will still see it as general. But when you use Excel, Excel now sees it as currency, as you can see here. So now you can reduce the decimal points, as we said, by coming to more formatting options, and then decimal places, you reduce them to 0. If that's what works for your data like ours here, and I take OK. That didn't work, right? Did it work? Currency, more options, right? Decimal points reduced to 0, take OK. All right, they've gone. So that's what I wanted to show us, that this is it here. Then this percentage, it works when you do a calculation, but you don't want to say, in arithmetic, if you want to get 5%, they say it's 5 divided by maybe 10 times 100. You don't really need to do that here in Excel. You just need to say 5 divided by 10, and then you leave it like that. You come and click on this currency, on this percentage, and automatically it will take it to 100 for you. So let us give an example. We have 20 minutes to go and we have questions. So we may not even exhaust just a home tap today. We're no big deal. We can do our insert tab tomorrow so that we plot our charts and All right. So let us say that we want to get something very not something a little bit funny. Let's just say we want to get how many percent of this is this one. All right, so we want to take 10 divided by 1,000 to get the percentage of 10 in 10,000. All right, so in Excel, row is it row number 3 now? In Excel, okay, please, those who are new should take note. Before if you want to calculate anything in Excel, you must begin with an equal sign. In mathematics, you end with an equal sign, right? But in Excel, you must begin with an equal sign. That's what tells Excel that you are calculating something. So I must begin with an equal sign. That's what I'm saying. Then I want to take 10. So look, Excel is very, very beautiful. I'll just click here. Excel has said it is cell J3. So Excel is taking the value inside cell J3. To divide in Excel, it is this button beside the shift, the right shift key. This bar, right? That goes this stroke. That's the division sign that Excel understands. So I'm dividing it by what? By this one. Okay, I just click. I don't have to type it because I already have the data here. I just click. Then I click the enter key. So Excel gives me the answer. So this is it. Now, Excel is so beautiful. You want to do this same thing on this other cells right down here, right? You don't need to come and say equal to, you click here, divide, click here, and click the enter key again. It's what we call autofill in Excel. Autofill means that you copy that formula throughout. Because I want to do the same thing that I've done up here on these other cells. I simply just autofill. I just feed the formula. And how do I do that? I just come here and I point my cursor on the lower right side of this cell. It turns into a plus, into a cross. Can you see that? See, when I point it, it turns into a dark cross. This means Excel understands that I want to fill it. So I just click and I drag right to the end. And you see, I don't want this answer to be the same because you might think that it has copied by this particular answer. But so let me modify it a bit for you to understand what I'm saying. Let me undo this because it's all 1% of all these guys. So let me just say, okay, let us say Sapphire is 7,000. Let's just change this answer a bit. Here is 5,000. Here is 3,000. And here 2,000. So that you understand what I'm saying. So what I want to copy this formula. This is what I've done here. Let me do it again for those who do not see well. I say equal to this one, divide this. I hit the enter key. So I don't have to do it over and over. I just come here and I fill it. Have you seen? So this same thing has been done for this one. If you want to prove it, you double click inside the data, inside the answer. If I double click, you see, right? You see these two colors. It means it has been computed using these two. All right. So what am I doing is because I want to show you guys what this percentage sign does. I don't have to come here and say times 100 over 1 and all that. So I just highlight all of these and I come and click on this percentage. And what do you see? You see that it's 0, right? But it's not wrong. It's because we have reduced it to 1 decimal point. So if I increase my decimal point, you'll see the percentage is growing. Can you notice? All right. So that was what I wanted to show you here. All right. So we are here and then conditional formatting. All right. This one is very, very easy, very pretty. Let's just say that we want to highlight some cells automatically. Conditional formatting. This one you can use when you're cleaning your data. You can highlight duplicates. I use this a lot when I'm highlighting duplicates. Do we have duplicates here? We don't have duplicates. Okay, so let us just say that you are a data analyst and you're working on a large data set and you want to check if there are duplicates. Those of us who work in the humanitarian industry, you can have participants' data coming from the field supervisors, and there's, some names might duplicate. Maybe somebody was profiled twice, and you have to clean your data. So you may want to check duplicates. For example, there are many other functions for conditional formatting. So as an assignment, you can check all of them. On the highlight cell rows, we have all of these. Then top, bottom rows, we have all of this. Data bars, we have all of this. So let us say that we have some duplicates. Let us say that the data coming again for Pauline. Okay, data coming again for Pauline. The same thing, the same thing, the same thing. 2000, Now you have data set. It's so big. Here you can this data pooling is twice because we have just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names. You can see that pooling is twice, and it's the same thing, the same demographic data and everything. But if it was like 5,000 rows, you won't be able to notice that, right? So you can just highlight these, and then you come to conditional formatting, highlight cell rows, and you take duplicate values. And then it says light red field with dark red text. You can change the color you want, but I will just allow it. When I click OK, what do you notice? The same data is being highlighted with this color. So this is one way to do data cleaning. You can highlight duplicates. Okay. There are many other options to check. Let's try this one. Conditional formatting. Let's try data bars. Data bars. Okay. So you see that this one is the highest. Is 0.1% is the highest. The next is 0.07, 0.06, 0.067. The bars, the longer the stuff. So how do I do this in data analysis? Because this bar is inside this text, I might make it a little bit disturbing. So let me show you a trick that I always use. I want the bars to appear here instead. So I'll copy this same data. Just see what I'll do. I'll copy it and I'll paste it here as text. Maybe I still put percentage and then decimal points about 3. It's the same thing, right? To 4. So what do I do here? I will change this text color to white. If I change it to white, you won't see anything. Have you seen anything there? There's text here, but I've changed it to white. How will I do? I will simply highlight. I'll come to conditional formatting, and I'll take data bars. That text still shows, right? That trick hasn't worked here because the color of the data bars will still show. So sometimes I make the data bars, this text to resemble this color so that it won't show. That's just what I wanted to show you, to show you guys. All right, so let us change the color back to black. Okay, let's change the color back to black, and then the data bars. Can we have our own colors? Yeah, solid fill color. Yeah, we can have our own colors, right? Everything black. Yeah, it wouldn't, and then we can shift it to the left. Yeah, something like that. Have you noticed anything? So I just use a small trick here. Small trick here. The data is right there, but you see just the bars, something like that. Okay. So and if you want to reduce, why is this one so big? Okay, let's reduce this one so that it makes it look. You see? So you see that we have done a little bit of analysis here. That this, you can see that this one is the highest. You can appreciate the bars, but just playing around. All right. So that was conditional formatting. We have 12 minutes to go. No problem. If we can plot just one chart today, there's no big deal. All right. So we have format as table. Okay, so this is now what I wanted to tell you guys, that you've not yet Excel up to now. Excel has not understood that this data is formatted as table. Yeah, he hasn't understood until you tell Excel that this data is actually a table. And how do you do that? By highlighting it, or you can just take Control T. Okay, just click anywhere in your table and take Control T, and Excel says that, if you look very well, which is the data for your table, and Excel tries to automatically highlight everything for you. So if I want it to end just here, K, right? So I change this M to K because I don't want this data bars to be part of the table. So I change it to K. I take OK. So what happens? Of course, this should happen because we did not put our first row as headings. Our first row was rather this guy here, staff of Earth. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'm going to remove this staff of Earth here. Okay. So let me undo. And it means we also remove this one. Unless we are going to go to the next sheet to do it. Remember, Excel, you can add many sheets as you like. So I'll come down here and take click on this plus. I'm now on sheet 2, okay? So that I'll copy this data. Now, this is the trick now. If I take Control C, and I come here, and I take Control V, it pastes with all the formatting. But if I had taken Control, just taken paste as values, all the formatting will go away. So let me delete this row here. How do we do it? You just right click and you take delete. Okay. Then we can highlight our data and then we take Control C now. Oh, I'm taking Control F. Control F is to find. You can find and replace and stuff like that. So I take Control T and I take OK. All right. So this is the trick. If you ever see data in Excel that has this, you see these small boxes. Can you see? These are filters. So if you ever see this small stuff on any data in Excel, just know that that data has been formatted as tables or filters have been applied. So immediately I formatted as table, you saw these things come. That's to show you that you can filter the data now. For example, we have 2,000 here and 2,000, right? If you click on the filter and you want to see only 2,000, those who have $2,000, you can uncheck the others and you check just 2,000. What I'm doing now is already data analysis fundamentals, which you'll see next week in details. So when I filter it, you see only those who have $2,000. And how do you know that this has been filtered? If you look at this particular one now, you see a funnel. It's different from these ones, right? You see a particular funnel here. So this can be a trick even in an interview. They can give you a data set like this, and they ask you a question to determine whether filters have been applied or not. You simply have to look at these headings and see. If you see this funnel, know that filters have been applied here. Right? So let me undo that. Okay. Okay, so where we at? Sales ties. This one is more of formatting. Those when you do accounting financial analysis with Theophilos, people will use this stuff here, sales ties. But let's just try it. If I want to highlight my table and come to sales ties, you can choose whatever you want. Can you see? As I point on it, the colors, just coloring, just coloring how you want it. If you don't want to go and be doing it yourself, you can. Let's go back to sheet 1. And let's just have some data. No, there's no time for that. We can do that tomorrow. All right. So we are here. So this is where you can come and insert your cells if you like. But I already showed you guys the shortcut, right? If I want to insert a particular, let me see. Let's come to sheet 1, and maybe we want to insert a column in between experience and cash, right? I'll just click on the column that has experience and I take insert. Okay, insert is to the left of it. That's the trick. So if I want to insert a column between experience and cash, which is the rightmost column is cash, not so. So if I want to insert a column, it will be to the left of this cash. So I will right click the letter that has the column for cash, which is K. Then I'll take insert. Then a new column will appear in between these two. All right. But if you don't want to do this thing, you can come to insert. You can click it, you come to insert here. As you see up here, take insert cells. It's the same thing. You want to insert a row, you right click, you come here, you take insert. It's the same thing. But I prefer to use the shortcuts that I showed you guys. Right. Then delete. Yeah, you can delete rows, delete, but you know how to do it, right? If I right click this cache, I can take delete. It deletes. And what did you notice? You may have seen some of these things like this in your Excel. What does it mean? It means that there's a missing formula somewhere. Moving or deleting, that means the Excel is confused. There's a formula, but Excel cannot find the other stuff, maybe the numerator or denominator, because I deleted a particular column. When you work here with databases, I have written a lot of formulas. You can read somewhere and say that, and you see this guy. So you have to click on it and you trace it. Okay. So it says J3 over ref. But if I undo what I did, it comes back. All right. Then we have format. All right. So this format is, I'll just show you one thing here. For those who want to increase, let me just say that I want to remove all these grid lines as we did it last time. Also, I come to view and I take uncheck grid lines. Also, then I want to increase the row height for this particular table. So I can highlight it. I'll come to home, I'll come to format, and then I take row height, and then I can choose mine. Maybe I can give 20, right? 20, take okay. Oh, it's beautiful, right? You can still highlight, you come to format, and you take column width. So the column width, let's still take 20 and say something. Very beautiful. So in this one, it gives it equal, it makes it equal. Because if you are the one pushing like this and I'm pushing like this, you'll never have equal stuff. You know, you want to push it like this, you want to push it like this, you won't have equal stuff. But when you use this format one, it will give you equidistance. It will be equidistance, right? Yeah, it will be equidistance like that. So that's it. All right. So where we at? All right. So let's do some calculations now. I'm sure some people are eagerly waiting. We calculated all of this, right? So let us say we want to sum the total for this cash. So how much cash awards are we giving this our good staff? The cash award, you can just this is the shortcut for sum. Normally in Excel, if you want to get the total for all of this, you just come, if you want to put it down here, you just come down here, you say equal to. In Excel, you must be given equal sign, right? Take note, please. Then I'll start typing the formula. That's the best way. You must know the formula. That's the first thing. Because if you don't know the formula, you don't know what to do. So I want to sum that. I'll start typing sum. SU. As I start typing it, all the formulas that begin with SU will appear. Then I'll look for the one that I want. I want sum. You'll see sum, if, and all that. In fact, Excel is so vast. But this is what you need for now. So I'll double click on the sum. When I double click on it, I'll just highlight all of these. Okay. When I highlight it all, I will close my braces, okay, or bracket, for those who call it bracket. I'll close my braces, and then I'll hit the enter key. That's the sum. So automatically, the company has spent $29,000. And of course, this was supposed to be currency. I don't know. Did the currency go away? Okay, let's put our currency there and reduce the decimal points. All right. So if you do not want to do this thing I did by putting equal to sum, you are going to just highlight it like this. You highlight it, and then you come to this particular option here, and you click on it. Did you see that? When you click on it, automatically the sum appears. So that's the short form to get your sum. Okay. And then this guy here is just to fill. What I did here by pointing this thing and dragging it down. That's the best way, rather than coming here. You want to feed down, you want to feed up. Then this one here is your eraser. Yeah, maybe you want to erase some stuff. Let's just write some stuff here. Maybe mistakenly your hand has touched a lot of things and maybe drawn some lines. Let's take that draw border. Let's just draw some lines and maybe some stuff. And now you don't know what to do. You double click and maybe to delete, delete this line now. Delete is not going. You take back arrow, back, it's not going. Have you ever come across this? Those who use Excel, you have something like this. You don't know what to do. You want to get rid of this line. You take delete, it doesn't go. You highlight, you take delete, it doesn't go. You highlight, you take backspace, it doesn't go. What do? Just highlight it, guys. You come to eraser, you clear all. Okay, that's it. Okay, so sort and filter. I told you that. Where is that sheet 2? I told you that when you convert it to a table, filters automatically appear also. But you can still put their filters without converting it to a table. I can simply highlight my data and I come to filter, sort and filter, and I take filter. All right. So the filters appear here. Same thing. Then if you want to sort now, anyway, it's already in descending order. Maybe you want to store this in ascending order. So I'll highlight this. I'll not highlight this total. Okay, highlight this, even though it might disturb us. So let's get rid of it for now. So I highlight this and then I come to sort. Sort smallest to largest. That's ascending order also. I'll click on it. And Excel asks me, do you want to expand the selection? Which means, do I want to include these in my sorting? Of course, because if I don't include it, only this particular column will be sorted. And I will not know if 7,000 was for Luma or Wo. So I must accept expand the selection. So I just take, sort it. All right, there's an issue. To do this, all merge cells need to be the same size because this guy is part of this table and stuff like that. So to show you that, let me just copy this data and paste it here. Okay, paste it here. This thing makes sense, right? When I remove grid lines, it still makes it beautiful. You know, when you make your data, your window this beautiful, you enjoy working with Excel. So where are we? Home, borders, all borders. All right. Okay. So let's sort now. Sort smallest to largest, expand. Yes, you know it works now. Did you notice that it now begins with Fedora rather than beginning with Denisha, right? So to get this off, I just highlight it and I come to clear. I use this a lot. Clear off. All right, here you can have filter. Okay, we've seen sort A to Z. You can use this one when you're a teacher and you want to rank your students. When you have put all your marks, their averages, calculate the averages using your average function, you can come here and you sort it from what largest to smallest. It will give you from the first to the last student. Very easy. All right, so find and replace. Very important. Yeah, Beatrice. Is there an emergency? Then you can ask your question there. If not, I'm rounding up so that we can talk. Yes, Beatrice, your hand is up. If it's an urgent question, I'm welcoming it. All right, your hand is down. All right. So this one, you may not have this data, this particular, okay, find and, so I was saying that for find and replace, I will choose Control F. We can come and do it here. You can take Control F. For example, we have a large data set, very big data set. And looking for a particular name, you may not easily get it, but you can find and you replace. And then if you're working with formulas, I use it a lot because sometimes I work with formulas. I work with formulas. I wanted to show you the data, but data is confidential. Anyway, I'll modify it and I'll show you tomorrow what I mean. Because in that data set, I use a combination of if error and VLOOKUP. And then I actually choose, for VLOOKUP, we have to choose the cell index, the index number, right? So when I do it for this index number, and I want to go and do this in the other index number, I simply copy the formula and paste. Then I find and replace the different index numbers. That's find and replace. You can also find it and replace names. For example, if this was a very long list, and maybe Pauline was wrongly spelled, maybe I spelled Pauline without an E, and I want to correct it, and I cannot find it. Maybe I just come here, and then I take Control F, then I find, maybe I just type Paul. Okay, as you can see, then I say maybe find for now, find next, and then you see it because it's highlighted. But if I had, okay, I now see Pauline without E, and I want to replace it with Pauline with an E. So I just type replace with, oh my God, what's that? Okay, then I take replace all. It says all done. We made 2 replacements. And which are those 2? Pauline and Pauline. Yeah, this one is like this because it was having E. We've added another E. So we can take it off. And why do we see have these colors? Because we already did conditional formatting here. That's why we have these 2 colors. But we can remove conditional formatting by coming back to it, coming here and taking clear rules, okay? Clear cell rules. You know, the color goes away. So it's no longer conditional formatted. Okay. So let's plot one graph and then we're good to go. We can ask questions. For the questions, all of us are discussing. So if you ask a question and I give an answer and another professional wants to add something for 5 seconds, the person is still welcome to add. All right. So let us plot. Okay, let's plot something here. So in the basic format to plot, we are going to just copy the staff in the very basic way to plot. Let me just do the most basic. I copy the staff and I copy their cash, maybe their years of experience. And then I paste here. And then maybe I put borders. All right. And then I highlight all of this and I come to insert. Okay. If you don't know which chart to plot, because we have bar chart, line graph, if you don't know which chart to choose, just take recommended charts and let Excel recommend a chart for you. All right. So recommended chart, and what has Excel given us? A column chart, the first one, which is the best. So I'll just take the column chart. And our data was formatted in descending order. That's why we have our chart, growing like this. So we have our chart, our first chart, guys, with experience. So Denisha has a high experience, 10 years. But you can format this right. In maths, you have to put your y-axis, you have to label your axis and stuff like that. So you can come to this plus sign here, and you take what? Axis titles. Okay. And you can also take data labels if you don't mind. Axis titles, you have to type it yourself. So I'll double click inside and I'll type staff, right? Staff. And then here I'll type years of experience. Okay. So you can do that. Years of experience. Right. So and now if I have put data labels here, I already know that this is three years, right? So there's no need to allow these lines again to obstruct data. The lines should be there if I have not put data labels, so that you can trace and get it here. But since I put data labels, let's take off the lines. So I'll uncheck grid lines. And then let's put our y-axis. There's no line here for y-axis. Did you notice that? These are always format my graphs. So I just come here, format axis, then I'll come to color, then I'll take line, then I'll choose color and I'll take black. All right. Format, do the same thing for. So you see, you have your x-axis labeled. Then this text is gray. You can come here and choose automatic black. You can change the font. You can choose area if you want to put area. And you can choose area, whatever you want. So we have our first graph. Okay. So tomorrow when we do sales, those who have businesses, you will see how to automatically put their data and the graphs will be generated for you. You'll see that. So this is our first graph. If you want to do a line graph, it should be over the years. So we don't have data that has dates. If you have the data that has dates, that's when you use line graph. Okay. Then this data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's already too much for a pie chart. We have between 3 and 4, highest 5. You can do pie chart or donut. So those are good things that we may see tomorrow. All right. So we have 18 minutes to go, and I'll open the floor for interactions. Let us ask our questions. Let us talk, and then, yeah, thank you. Over to you, Clinton, moderator. The floor is open. All right. Mercy, the mic is yours.
Well, thank you very much for the lesson. It's quite interesting and following up very well. I missed out when you talked about when we had the very first data, that is E on E. Wait, let me get there. Where you have Denicia, gold, the experience, 10. Then the superscript, that is cell E, the very first one, 10th. How did you get to the 10th? The superscript, yes, I missed it out.
All right, let's do it over again. So I will delete that. So as in Word, if it was a Word document, you could just type, if you put 10th here, I put that TH, normally it will automatically superscript. But in Excel, superscript is hidden inside this box. So I'll type the TH, then I'll double click to make the text active. Then I'll highlight just that TH. So I just take my mouse and highlight TH. Then I come here. You see this small arrow?
Yes.
Yeah, click on it, and then I'll take superscript, this superscript here.
Okay.
When I check it, I take OK. So
okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, the floor is open. If you have a question or something that you're expecting for us to do. Maybe I can incorporate it into tomorrow and the Sunday's lesson. I will share the course content in the group so that we can all have an appraiser. Of course, we're recording the session. We'll be able to transcribe it and put it on our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. We'll put it on our YouTube channel and we'll share the link in the group so that those who are not unavoidably absent can follow through. Okay. My politic of teaching is that if you don't ask questions, I will ask questions. If I ask my questions, I'll call anybody to answer. Okay, I see your worry, Derek. I see. Okay, in case I share the timetable in the group, in the chat box, so we can download it. So Derek, I'll take it over again for the graph. Tomorrow we'll do more. Tomorrow we're going to do the insert tab. Okay, today was a home. Developer, forget about this one. Tomorrow is the insert tab, and we'll do a lot of graphs tomorrow. So don't worry, but I'll show you how we got that graph. All right, so here, so I could still highlight. I could highlight this, you know. I could highlight this and take control. Come on, what's this? I could highlight this and hold the control key, and then I highlight experience. You can still do this, okay? Highlight experience, and you go to insert, but I don't want to go to this one. So I simply copy the data for the staff. I came and pasted it here, and I copied the one for experience, and I came and pasted it here. So that should be easy for us to do to plot our graph. Then I highlighted all of it. Okay, you highlight all of it, and you come to insert. You want to insert a chart, and I was saying that if you don't know which chart to plot, because we have line graph, pie chart, you know, bar chart, donut, line, all those stuff. If you don't know which chart to use, because the chart that you plot, how do I put it? It depends on the data that you have. Okay, so when I right click, when I highlight all of this, I just come to insert. I don't know which chart to plot. I just click on recommended charts. When I click on recommended charts, extra recommended charts for me, you can see now it recommends a column chart, this other one, a bar chart, a pie chart. How do they call this one again? I've forgotten the name of this one. And then this other guy here. So, and then when it recommends it for me, it shows me the column chart here, cluster column chart. So I simply click on it. So when we click on it, this is what we had. And many people just click on their graph, and when they have this, let me resize this. Many people simply click on their graph, and when they have this graph like this, they just copy this and paste in their Word document. When you compare these two graphs, you will see that they are this one actually is more beautiful, right? So you can format your graph. That's what I was doing here. And the first thing I did was that I brought in my axis. So I click on this plus, and I take axis titles, okay? And then I took data labels, and then I removed grid lines. Then I came to my axis title and I double clicked so that it becomes active. Then I typed, this one is the staff, right? The name of the staff. And then I came here and I type years of experience. Years of experience. What was that? Right. So that's what I did, and I came here and chose this one. Then for the lines, for the y-axis and the x-axis line, somebody's mic is on. So I click on the names, just click, and then I come to this color wash here, fill and line. Then I chose line. Then I came to solid line. Then I chose black. This is my personal way of formatting my data. Then I came here, I'll click on the x-axis, and I chose the same thing, you see. So it makes it beautiful. Then we'll also see how to create our own color palette. Let me show you guys a chart that I created using Excel, because I actually got my own color charts myself. Not this one. I don't think I still have that. Okay, this forecast data, let me see. It's not here. Okay, I think I did that presentation. Just give me a minute, because sometimes you may think that Excel cannot give you beautiful charts, but it all depends on how you format your charts. So let me just open this and show you what I'm talking about. I did a presentation and I have some very beautiful charts. For me, they're beautiful for me. Maybe they may not be beautiful for you. Okay, so let me share the screen and show you what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't know if you can see. You can see, right? I have these charts were created using Excel. But the colors, you will not see these colors on Excel color palette, but you can create your colors. You can create your colors depending on the theme of your presentation and all that. You can create it. So you see, this is what I did. So we can create it, and there's good contrast here, as you can see. So beneficiaries by site for those who are humanitarian organizations and all that. Okay. All right. So back to you, people. Back to you. We still have 13 minutes. Maybe you have a question on today's lesson. If there's no question, then I'll ask mine. And if I ask mine and call your name, please don't worry. Every answer is correct. We just want to hear your voice. And if I pronounce your name wrongly, you can start by correcting me, giving me the correct pronunciation. Then we go. All right. So I want to ask a question since nobody's hand is up. So I'm gonna put up my hand. Okay, Fedora, thank you. The floor is yours. Take the mic.
Good evening. Please, I left my question in the chat box.
Okay. Let me get there and let me get it. Okay. I didn't see what you did to get column M. Can you please explain again? My name was not stable. Okay, column M. Where is that? Okay. Here. All right. I just play some tricks here. Let's do it again. So we're doing conditional formatting, right? And we reach at the point where we have to do data bars, because sometimes when you're presenting data to your boss, to your colleagues, it's good to put some of this graphic stuff so that they speak louder. So we had, okay, let me increase this. Cancel. So we had these percentages that we calculated from here, right? If you click here and look at your formula bar, I'm very sorry that I not show you guys the formula bar, which is the almighty formula bar. This is it up here. This fx. These functions in maths, you run away, but you meet it again here. But it's going to be easy here because you don't need to calculate. Excel will do it for you. So this is a formula bar, right? So when you click inside your answer and look at the formula bar, you see what was done. So it was J3 on K3, right? This J3, 10 on 10,000, and then we click on the percentage sign. So we had this formula and we autofilled to have these other ones. So I wanted to put data at this conditional formatting. I wanted to put the data bars, like to see the length, how long, just to make it good. So I just highlighted it and I came to my home, conditional formatting. You take data bars, you can choose any color you want. So when you do this, what happens is that the data bars appear inside your data, which sometimes is obscuring. All right. So I wanted to put my data bars outside. Let me clear this off. I told you guys I like using this cleaner. So I wanted to put my data bars here. So what I did was I copied the same data and I pasted it here. Yes. And then when I pasted it, the percentage sign goes away. So I came back and put on my percentage sign and increase the decimal points as I showed you guys the arrows. And increase my decimal points to 3. So it's the same thing that was here. I put it here. So I highlight now by this one and I go to conditional formatting and then data bars. Then I take more rows because I want to choose my color myself. I don't want to use these colors that Excel has given. So I take more rules and then I take the solid fill. I came here and I chose black because I want the data bars to cover that text, this black text that you see. So I chose black for all the colors. Then I took OK. Now when I did that, you could still see the black, the text here, right? You could still see it here. So I highlighted it and came and reduced the size to maybe 7. Okay, I reduced it to 7. Then I shifted it. I'm using all what I've told you guys today. Then I shifted it to the left. This left alignment. I align it to the left. So when I do that, I can even further reduce the size to 6 or even 5, so that it all goes right to the left and nothing is showing here. All right. So this is what I did. You will see that these data bars are following the percentages you have here, but you will not see anything here. Okay, Fedora. I don't know if you got it now.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Any other question? We must not close at 10. We can still close at 5 minutes to 10. If there's no other question, I'll give the floor to Clinton, the moderator, to round up. So this is just the introduction, guys. Those of you who already know Excel, just be patient. When we get to data management next week, it's going to be mind-blowing. In fact, I'm going to show you a dashboard that you just enter your data and automatically you have your answers. You have your graph automatically changing. You can change the data. You want to see data for January, click January. You want to see data for February, click February. You want to see it for January to March, first quarter, first quarter. You use slicers and all that. We'll see them next week. And then those who are accountants, you're going to see how to do your financial statements, budgeting, logistic, stock management, and all that. We'll see it. And then at the end, we'll see how you can get a job by leveraging your Excel skills. So stay tuned. Always remember, it's every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at from 8 p.m. We'll give reminders in the group. So Clinton, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Wana, I'm here.
Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for the very engaging session. I see there are no questions. It means everything was well elaborated and understood. It was an exciting session, a great experience for many of us. So, like you have rightly said, it's going to be a great ride with all of us. Thank you for making our time to participate in day one. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at a more detailed way of analyzing our data. We have had just the basics today for those of you, like he rightly said, who are experts already in the domain. We could not just dive directly looking at a more complex way because we need to start from the beginning and then we carry everybody along. So thank you so much. We hope that tomorrow will be more engaging and we'll have much more participants participating in the session for tomorrow. And one thing I did not make mention of at the beginning of the session is that East Analytics is a well-renowned organization here in Cameroon. For those of us who are participating in other countries, we'll get the opportunity to have certificates at the end of the sessions. So just stay tuned and then or together let's enjoy this beautiful ride. So we get a rendezvous for tomorrow. Has any question or any challenge, I've dropped the agenda in our chat. If you go to the chat, you are going to see our course content and the agenda of how we are going to run the program. See the 4th week, for which you can actually have some practicals. From tomorrow, we are going to dive deeply into more practical sessions. And why not even have some practical sessions for which we can practice before coming for the next session. So thank you so much for the time, and we get a rendezvous for tomorrow. See you all and ciao.